Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the Lazer Grand Arena. It is time for the winners finals here between Amamiya Kokoro and Flying Tuna. It's been a long road for these two players through the winners bracket and the single elim early on, starting from round of 32, all the way up into the quarters and semifinals for both of them. Putting up some very good scores and performances for both of these players in those semifinals matches. And as I was talking about it earlier on in the before the cast with my wonderful co-caster here, should be a very good matchup between two players who are relatively similar in skill set. I'm Dio. I'm joined on this match by the one and only Doomsday.
What's up, Dio? This one's set up to be very close, and with this format, the close matches have been pretty intense. This one, we were talking about it just before the cast. It's almost like these two are basically the same player. They do have some divergences in skill set somewhat, but there's so many maps on this pool that there's going to be barely anything between these two. And I imagine these two know each other very well, of course, played alongside each other, against each other a lot. This should be a well thought out match and a very close one, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Those slight divergences in skill that you're talking about, we've kind of narrowed it down a little bit to maybe Amamiya has an edge on some of the hard rocks. Flying Tuna has an edge on the DTs, at least the speed-focused ones. And Amamiya has an edge on the stream maps, especially long stream stamina. But aside from that, both of these players are very good aim players. Both of these players are very good alt and tech players. Both of these players are very good reading players and hidden players. Both of these players are really, really solid at everything else in the pool in ways that are very similar to each other. So kind of as expected here, an early speed ban for Amamiya Kokoro. Flying Tuna has been grinding the speed for quite some time. And then once again, a hard rock ban for Flying Tuna, not wanting to let any of those hard rocks through. So it's kind of what we expected in Flying Tuna. There it is. First pick, Dark by Crymek. Doomsday, you were saying, dropped 800k earlier in the weekend. Amamiya Kokoro has dropped 450, 500k both times. So that should be a very, very good first pick for Flying Tuna.
Yeah, and I guess unless Amamiya Kokoro has really got his speed going, yeah, Flying Tuna is going to be very happy about opening up with that. But there is that No Mod 2 open for Amamiya Kokoro. He's not going to go straight into it. He's going to go double reading. So that's two contested sorts of maps straight off the bat from Amamiya Kokoro. He's performed extremely well on both of those maps already, though.
Yeah, they're good picks, of course, but Flying Tuna, not bad at the reading by any stretch. So we'll see exactly how much of an advantage Amamiya Kokoro can eke out on those maps. Flying Tuna, once again, another double time pick. Not any real surprise there. You also almost expect Amamiya Kokoro to just ban out the DT4 as well after this. But Flying Tuna with the first ban here, going to be taking out the Nomad Hard Rock one, excuse me. Again, just double banning out those Hard Rocks, and not too surprising, again, given that Flying Tuna probably doesn't want to play against somebody like Amamiya Kokoro, who was top 3 in a Hard Rock only tournament earlier in the year, and just generally very, very good on the Hard Rock. So a little surprising to not see him pick into it early on, especially kind of feel like a lot of the rest of the pool is kind of contested. Nomad 1, DT4 are the bans for Amamiya Kokoro now here. Bad Boys Missa in Nomad 1 and String Theocracy in the DT4, so won't be seeing either of those. And one more ban for Tuna. Have to imagine it's either the Nomad 2 or that last Hard Rock in Grin.
Flying Tuna's already posted a very good score on Grin, but yeah, Flying Tuna will not want to play Hard Rock, especially not against Amamiya Kokoro. Totally agree, but there goes No Mod 2. So another stream pick is taken out of the pool for Amamiya Kokoro. Gotta say, this ban phase I think is going very well for Flying Tuna. He's got his good maps on the board. I think some of Amamiya's good maps have been taken out here.
I agree. I definitely would have liked to see the Nomad 2 and the Hard Rock 2 earlier on for Amamiya Kokoro, or, well, obviously the Hard Rock 2 first banned out, so maybe the Hard Rock 1 there. But definitely would have wanted to see the Nomad 2 earlier on with Amamiya Kokoro dropping 800k twice on that map so far. That's an incredibly good score. So Flying Tuna, I think, very happy with how this has played out. Hidden 1, the next pick for Amamiya Kokoro, going into more of the Hiddens. Flying Tuna going into the Nomads once again. So double hidden pick so far for Amamiya Kokoro, clearly preferring that one. And Flying Tuna saying, all right, let's go into the Nomads then. And another Hard Rock 3 and now Hidden 3 ban, actually, for Amamiya Kokoro. So not wanting to deal with that last remaining Hidden. And, of course, Flying Tuna banning out the entirety of the Hard Rock pool, leaving us with only the Nomad 4 as the last pick tiebreaker between these two players.
Oh,
one of the most toss-up skill sets in the game between these two in particular. Tech Nomad. Slider Tech and aim-controlled Nomad is a tiebreaker between these two. Honestly, couldn't have written a script for a better tiebreaker between Amamiya Kokoro and Flying Tuna, so I'm very happy, just as a caster and spectator, with Nell being tiebreaker here.
A lot of control going into this between these two. It's going to be spicy to watch. Tuna picking that ult pick as well, the number 3, that Kobochi tune, into Amamiya Kokoro is interesting because, you know, that's going to be a good one for him as well. I think those last 3 maps are proper toss-ups. If this is really close by the time we get past that absolute castaway DT, those last few maps are going to be very intriguing.
I think it all depends on how well both Flying Tuna and Amamiya Kokoro can amass score lead for themselves on their first 2 picks. Because as you said, DT maps have been very, very good for Flying Tuna. So Amamiya Kokoro, if he can match that kind of a score gap on the reading maps as the first couple of picks, I think should do very, very well for himself here. And here we go into the very first pick. 213 BPM Nomad for this 1.2 rate up map. The Dark by Crimec, mapped by Fergus. It's breakcore at 256 BPM, and that's really all you need to know. Lazer, of course, DT does not have to be 1.5x. It can be other rate ups like 1.2, what we have here. And already you're seeing the speed grind paying off for Flying Tuna and Amamiya Kokoro struggling. And Doomsday, this is already looking real good for Flying Tuna.
Yeah, 97%, sitting pretty, the early FC. Amamiya Kokoro trying to hold on, he's down by 10% of AC, and that is a lot of score that Tuna's got over him. I say, opening up with the speed, especially if your opponent might not be quite set. I think in this format, you absolutely have to be warm right off the bat, because you can get nuked on the first pick if you're not careful. But this is the perfect start for Tuna.
Yeah, does find a miss a little bit later on here, and now no longer on the full combo. There is combo advantage for Amamiya Kokoro right now, but that accuracy means that it's not going to matter too much here. Already 140,000 score lead for Flying Tuna as well. So Amamiya Kokoro would really have to turn it on here in the last third of the map. Another 45 seconds to go. Not even a third left in this one. And Flying Tuna just way out ahead at the moment. So looking very good on the speed first pick here. Won't be the full combo, but very, very comfortable and secure in the victory on this first pick. And again, if you're just tuning in and you haven't seen this format before, players draft all the maps at the beginning, and then cumulative score is the win condition. So it's not just, oh, Flying Tuna takes a point. It's Flying Tuna wins the point by 200 and probably 50,000 points or so by the end of it here. 231,000 point lead for Flying Tuna after the first pick. So very solid start here for Flying Tuna. And honestly, the hit graph tells the entire story there. Right in the middle for Flying Tuna, and off a little late for Amamiya Kokoro, just a little bit speed gapped on that map.
He matched his top score from the previous times that popped up in his earlier matches, so he's at least managed to match that. So I suppose that's actually not too bad for Amamiya Kokoro going into 2 of his picks. And if you can make these reading maps work, and he's performed extremely well on them already, 200k, you can claw that back. But it's a great start for Tuna, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a pop-off score on something like Mad Piano Party here, this is one of those maps where even if you can play low approach rate reading, sometimes it just doesn't matter, because this one is something that rewards practice a lot, rewards you being very comfortable on the map overall. It's got these ridiculously difficult overlapping streams that double back on themselves, which on low approach rate can be really, really tricky, especially with you're playing a 6.8 star flow aim stream map, right? The flow aim on this is not simple at all, and there come the first couple of sets of streams, both players handling them just fine, but there's those first overlapping streams, and Amamiya Kokoro, the first to go down. Not a good start for him. Flying Tuna will match the break. So we'll see how long Amamiya Kokoro can hold on to some combo lead here with a little bit of an advantage. Flying Tuna now missing once again. The accuracy relatively even, within a % difference for both of these two. But Flying Tuna just finding miss after miss now. Not super comfortable here in the middle section.
Yeah, Amamiya Kokoro got a bit of a combo together there, but it does look like both these players are very even on the comfort. They are both... you know, the no mod gimmick enjoyers put a lot of practice into these. I know Tuna definitely does in tournament. It's showing, but you can see they are trading blows neck and neck on this one.
Another set of those overlapping double back streams, and both players hitting it just fine. Tuna with the combo advantage with a slight ACK lead as well. Out ahead now in score once again. And Amamiya Kokoro, yeah, holding on to the combo now, does finally find a miss for Tuna. So Amamiya Kokoro with the chance to bring some of this score lead back, but it's not going to be nearly the decisive one-sided win we saw on the previous map for Flying Tuna. This is still very, very close. Only a 5,000, 10,000 score difference right now for Amamiya Kokoro. It is going up here at the end as he continues to combo through this hardest section of the map. Is popping off here at the end. This is a very, very good ending. I mean, look at the streams, look at the wiggles here at the end. An absolutely solid ending here for Amamiya Kokoro, and does extend that score lead up to about 100k. So it's not going to be a 200,000 plus score lead like we saw for Flying Tuna on the previous map, but it is going to chunk down that score lead quite a bit here for Amamiya Kokoro.
Pop off at the end did so much work. Tuna really struggled there. He improved his score quite a bit off the last one too that he played for that one. But a great ending there from Amamiya. Doing so much work, 130k? And if he gets a good run here, he's going to be right back in it after that speed map. So far so good for Amamiya so far, I think.
And just like that, we're right into the Hidden 2. Again, all the maps were pre-drafted before any of the picks got started. So we're right into Amamiya Kokoro's second pick. Amamiya Kokoro getting 2 picks in a row here. Needs to create some kind of a score lead for himself, I think, going into the next DT pick for Flying Tuna. We'll see if he's able to do that here on Bestrafung. This is a custom, I think, from OWC 2021, if I remember right. Would have been Grand Finals Hidden 2 in that tournament.
Yeah.
Once again, in the Hidden 2 slot here is a low approach rate reading pick. A relatively awkward aim mechanics focused sort of Hidden 2 here. Both players should be pretty comfortable on this, and you can see the comfort for both of them very high at the moment. 99% FC for Flying Tuna, 97% reverse choke. Still on a very good score for Amamiya Kokoro, but there's a break on a Buzz Slider, and now combo lead squarely with Flying Tuna going into this next aim section. Not having any trouble whatsoever so far with this map. It's still a 99.4% FC for Flying Tuna here. Just no trouble at all, and another break coming through for Amamiya Kokoro, and this might have been a bit of a backfired pick for Amamiya Kokoro. We're not quite halfway through. There's still a lot of time left in the map, but this is a very, very good start on this pick for Flying Tuna, already an 80,000 score lead.
The Tuna is popping off. Like, this is a very good start. This map is super hard on this linear aim, and Tuna is making it look ordinary. This is a great score so far. The patterns don't stop, though. He finally gets the breaks. He's not going to get too far away, but what a start there.
Yeah, and with another break coming through for Amamiya Kokoro, even with the drop for Flying Tuna, the accuracy tells a story all its own. The PP counter tells a story all its own. And Flying Tuna is just still way out ahead. Another 100k score lead. I mean, the gap that was built on Mad Piano Party is just completely gone and way back in the favor of Flying Tuna now. Similar to the gap he made just after the DT pick on his first pick. So Amamiya Kokoro isn't able to combo and find another God Mode ending here on this map to bring some of that score back down, forget about getting rid of the score gap. He's going to be on the receiving end of another gap here. And Amamiya Kokoro really needs to turn it on here, so let's see how well he can do at the ending here. Another break for Flying Tuna is good for Amamiya Kokoro. Some more of these wide-angle linear jumps. The pattern aim here at the end, the anti-aim pattern's also coming through, and Amamiya Kokoro hitting all of it so far. The God Mode is happening. Can he finally pull this back here? It's still a 50k score difference, but the combo's still going for Amamiya Kokoro. And suddenly it's down to about 40k, still going strong for both of these players. Flying Tuna has recovered the combo. There's finally a miss for Amamiya Kokoro, and now it's in Flying Tuna's court once again, just extending the score lead as much as possible here near the ending.
Another great ending here from Amamiya is going to be saving himself somewhat. He is going to be behind though, so in the end of the day, this is all looking Gucci for Tuna. Great attempt though, and a really good score from both these two by the end of that. But what an opening on that pick from Tuna. That was a crazy first half from him.
Absolutely. I mean, what was that, 600 or so max combo by the end of the map? 670 max combo, all right at the start there. Flying Tuna just turning it on right as the map begins and rewarded for it. Now, again, up 190,000 score. It's been 2 picks for Amamiya Kokoro and 1 pick for Flying Tuna. So call it a break point, call it what you want, but it's 190,000 cumulative score lead for Flying Tuna here going into the next DT pick in the DT1, Competo Retrotica. This is a mostly aim-focused DT pick, if memory serves. 270 BPM DT aim, the name of the game on this one. 8.1 stars as well. AR 10.4, OD 10.4 as well. So this is definitely a tough DT map. It's maybe a little bit more accessible for Amamiya Kokoro than something like the DT3 was. Not as speed focused, a lot more aim focused. Both of these players, of course, very good on that. But Flying Tuna, again, generally more comfortable with those higher BPMs as opposed to Amamiya Kokoro, who, has had a lot of practice on the long stream stamina, around 220 BPM or so, but is not quite as well versed on the super high BPMs like the 250, 260, 270. So I think, again, Flying Tuna expected to come out with a score lead here, and that leaves only 3 maps left at the end for Amamiya Kokoro to try and claw back as much of that score lead as possible. So Flying Tuna looking to take advantage of this DT pick and the already existing score lead as much as possible going into it.
Yeah, like, Tuna's already had a really good score on this. He got nearly 1 million in his last time he played this. Amamiya double banned this. So, yeah, Amamiya's going to have to find something here. He's going to have to be careful. Not sure what's going on there, though. Is he having a couple issues, Amamiya Kokoro? What's going on there?
Have to imagine so. Also, the score is going the wrong way, which is absolutely wild. I've never seen that before. That's got to be a new Lazer exclusive 30 client bug. I'm sure we're going to get an abort here at some point because there's no way we would want this map to count with Amamiya Kokoro having not played a single note since the very start of the map. So hopefully we can get an abort, restart the map, and get it replayed. In the meantime, Tuna getting some good practice in on this map, still holding the full combo, no misses so far, 98.7 accuracy. So very good practice run here for Tuna. Unfortunately unaware of the...
Wait, I think the client is spectating the ref there. Amamiya is playing. I think it's just a client moment.
That would make sense.
They are both playing.
That's a new one. That's a new one there. All right.
So, okay, it is there. Just Amamiya is having a cheeky playoff stream there. It's fine. I guess we'll get that going and we'll see where they stand. But, hey, Tuna opening up well there. Still FCing. I mean, ultimately, whatever Amamiya is doing off stream, it's going to have to be a pop-off score, I think, for him, because Tuna has already popped off on this before and he's doing so again.
Yeah, and with the score going up for red team, I don't even know if that's necessarily Tuna. It might just be Amamiya Kokoro over there. Does finally find a break, whoever that is. We'll see at the end. It does display the player name at the very end of the map. One significant difference with the normal tournament clients is that on Lazer, when you are Lazer spectating, it does not display the names of each player live. Part of what led to the confusion, I suppose. But this is a very good score for whoever this is. Just a one miss choke so far. And is going to have a really, really good ending as well. 930k there by the end for Flying Tuna, it looks like. Shadoo's, better luck next time, buddy. Better luck next time. Good effort, though.
An attempt was made to autopilot that. You should have hit tab, mate. What are you doing? So, yeah, how did Amamiya do on that? You're probably going to have to hear from staff on that one. But 930k is a very solid score. Did Amamiya get close to that? I think he really does need to. How are we looking?
Just looking at the MP link, it does look like actually Amamiya Kokoro may have had a slightly better score. I believe the score lead went down to about 150,000, or no, that is 250,000. So was a bit of a win for Flying Tuna, but not a huge one. So 250,000 total score lead for Flying Tuna now. 3.1 million total score to 2.85 million total score, just looking at the MP link for this lobby. So a bit of a score lead there for Flying Tuna. I believe that would have been about a 60k score lead. So probably still around 900k there for Amamiya Kokoro, which is, again, a very, very good score.
Yeah, 865k for Amamiya Kokoro, so actually a very good fight on that. Fair play to Amamiya Kokoro, still keeping it close. Those are two very good scores again. I do actually, I wonder if it's just the opponents Amamiya was facing, because with a score like that, I reckon he would have been okay. So, it's still all to play for, but no doubt Tuna has a little bit of insurance. But these next few picks are, I don't know if they're really favored to anyone. It's going to come down to how they are doing right now. And there's quite a few maps to go. I'm really curious to see how those last few play out.
I want to see how this goes as well, because Torioka, the hidden one, this is 256 BPM, you know, high density, high speed aim with quite a lot of bursts in it as well. So this is somewhat similar in map style to the DT1 that we just saw. And with Flying Tuna winning that, you know, it's not by a considerable margin, but I guess it's a question of how much did the high AR play into that? How much can the hidden play into this map? Because the overall map style is going to be relatively similar here. A little bit more pattern complexity, this being a hidden pick rather than a double time pick. So the overall map just has to be a little bit more complex when you get this higher star rating without mods, or without difficulty enhancing mods. So we'll see how much the hidden and the map complexity can play into it here for Amamiya Kokoro, but Flying Tuna right on the heels here at the start. Both players holding on to the full combo with pretty good accuracy at the beginning of this hidden one pick. And as you said, Amamiya Kokoro only 2 maps and a tiebreaker left to pull back a 255,000 score lead. So has to make the most of this pick. This is his last pick before the end of the match.
At the moment, nothing really between these two. A little bit of accuracy, but it's really nothing to write home about. I mean, after coming off of that double time 1, it's a great warm-up into something like this, because that's 270. This has got a lot more bursts in it, though, compared to that DT1. But it looks like Amamiya Kokoro and Tuna are handling them, well, very well.
Now the burstiness almost feels maybe a little bit better for Flying Tuna. Again, a little bit more comfortable on the higher BPMs, of course, with Amamiya Kokoro. You know, double banning DT, not having a great time on the DT3, losing out on the DT1. You almost favor Tuna on some of these higher BPM picks, which, again, I think it just goes to the modification and the comfort on the map, because obviously this being Amamiya Kokoro's pick has to feel good on this map. So definitely to do with the mod comfort and the map style comfort here. Both players still, though, on the full combo. It is neck and neck right now. Going into the second PI time now, just over halfway through. Both of them still just comboing this with a Blom. No shakes, no issues for either of them. 99% locked in for both players as well. There's the first miss, and it's from Amamiya Kokoro. Flying Tuna makes it through that section, and this map now and the match overall completely in his control. 1300 combo and climbing still on the FC. And Flying Tuna, once again, you can take a break for military, you can come back after a couple of years, but one of the greatest of all time here to show him how it's done once again for the newer generation.
Man, Tuna is an evergreen player for sure, and he just performs so well on everything. That was a tense, like, staring contest on that one. Both of these players did so good on that. Amami is the first to blink, though, and yeah. Now that's a bit of a mountain to climb now for Amami Kokoro. 100k and still rising for Flying Tuna here.
This score is just ridiculous, by the way. 99.2 AC for Flying Tuna. Still on the FC. I just want to see if he's able to finish it out at this point, because I mean, the map is already basically over. It's another 150,000 score lead for Flying Tuna on this pick. He's going to be up a cumulative 400,000 going into his own last pick here after this map. And this is now just a little out of control for Amamiya Kokoro.
No.
Tuna finally finds a miss there right at the end of the map. Only 15 seconds left, but it's still an absolutely absurd score here for Flying Tuna. Once again, an evergreen player, one of the greatest to ever do it in tournaments, one of the best 1v1 tournament players, going back to a few years ago when he was truly active in the tournament scene. Just showing how it's done here. A 400,000 cumulative score lead for Flying Tuna, going into his own last pick in the Nomad 3.
Another set of amazing scores. That map, that score from Amamiya Kokoro was top 10 on the map. Flying Tuna there with his accuracy was challenging for number 1 with that AC. It's a shame he broke it, but just insane stuff. And now, yeah, going into the Nomad 3, Tuna is holding all of the aces.
An apt description here on this map. It is Draw Me a Map, Let Me Feel the Tap by Kabocha. I believe this was an original song in Corsace Open 2022, if memory serves. Nomad 3 with a twist. A lot of that standard aim control, alt-focused patterning that you would usually expect to see in the slot, with a little bit of finger control rhythm as well. Flying Tuna, of course, a very, very good alt player. Alt and tech, kind of the specialty for him before he started speccing into the speed a little bit more. And this map, no exception to that rule as well. Do want to shout out, Amamiya Kokoro still got a very good score on the previous map. I mean, it was 700, 800k. Still a very, very solid run for him. It was just a Flying Tuna with an absolute pop-off. So, and unfortunately for Amamiya Kokoro, early lead here for Flying Tuna on this pick as well. Some of the wiggles and flow-focused aim control patterning in this map looking very good for Flying Tuna. 99 AC on both players, though, so if there is a drop for Flying Tuna, Amamiya Kokoro can take advantage, but it's another miss for Kokoro, and maybe his heart just not built to take this kind of stress level, because right now Flying Tuna just completely in control once again. Does find a break, though, and now slight combo lead back the way of Amamiya Kokoro. There is a long time left in the map. It's still a minute to go, so we'll see how much of that score lead Amamiya Kokoro can claw back.
He's still got the accuracy, so he's bang on with the accuracy side of things. He does get the breakdown on those wiggle ult patterns, so he's not going to be gaining much. It's advantage Tuna again. It's incredibly close, but just a little bit more on this one, it seems, for Tuna, and another chance for a comeback stemmed here, it looks like.
At this point, this score lead now looking above 500k total for Flying Tuna going into the tiebreaker. You don't want to call it until the fat lady sings, but she's prepping the voice right now. She's doing some exercises. She's clearing her throat because Flying Tuna has just made the back half of this match look like a clinic here. It's been very good scores for Amamiya Kokoro. None of the scores that he has dropped have been bad whatsoever. Again, 700K on this pick once again. But Flying Tuna every time is just out ahead by a pretty good margin, 100K on nearly every map in the back half of this match. And Flying Tuna rewarded for it in spades, 514,000 score lead going into the tiebreaker pick. And, you know, it's not over till it's over, but this is looking pretty close to it, that's for sure.
Now, yeah, we're going into some slider tech like this. The accuracy is so important on this because the crazy SVs can be very hard to act, but both these two are well suited to act this. That's a lot of score to make up. Amamiya Kokoro is going to have to do something very special here. All Flying Tuna really needs to do is just hold his nerve and post like a fairly decent score, bank his spot in the grand final.
Yeah, all he has to do is really get above 450K or so, and he is good. Once you hit that score mark for Flying Tuna, there is no way to win this match for Amamiya Kokoro. He has to win this pick by 515,000 points, which is an immense number, especially against someone like Flying Tuna, who has been playing as well as Tuna has all match. And on a tech pick again, one of the former specialties for Flying Tuna, something that he is still world renowned for here. So this is going to be a very tall ask for Amamiya Kokoro. Almost has to full combo this map to have any chance at making it into the grand finals on the winner's side, and has to hope for repeated breaks from Flying Tuna. But 45 seconds into an only 2 minute and 15 second map, both players still full comboing. Better act for Flying Tuna means that this is not looking super great for Amamiya Kokoro, but there's a break for both players. Flying Tuna and Amamiya both finding that break. And well, again, Amamiya Kokoro basically had to full combo this and just pray for as many misses as possible from Flying Tuna, and that's not going to happen. Tuna now closing in on that 450K mark, where we said at that point the match is basically over, and the fat lady, she has started a singing. It's going to be Flying Tuna taking this match. The question is just how much of a score lead can he put up by the end of it, as more misses come through for Amamiya Kokoro, and Flying Tuna still comboing through that ridiculous Axel D-Cell slider stream section.
He's still got 99% as well. He's going nuts on this map here. Amamiya Kokoro was holding 99 for a while as well, but just lost the flow. Tuna, though, still going. Amamiya Kokoro, seed 1. He's got every chance, and he's going to be in that losers bracket final played straight after this, so he'll get a second wind. But Tuna, the veteran, the evergreen player, it looks like he's going to be the one on the winner's side of this grand final, the first ever LGA. And I couldn't be happier for him, man. I'm so glad to see him performing this well.
Can take the Tuna out of the tournaments for a year, but you can't take the tournaments out of the Tuna. He's still got it after all this time. It comes back after military. Gets a while to get back into the swing of things, that's for sure. Has been very active in tournaments since his return, and is still looking just as strong as he was before that break as well. Flying Tuna just crushing that match. I mean, it was, of course, very good scores from Amamiya Kokoro as well. Both of these players are absolutely ridiculously good, but Flying Tuna just ahead on it felt like almost every map there, and rewarded for it with, what was that score lead by the end of the match? 650,000 score or close to it? Yeah, 630,000 score lead for Flying Tuna by the end of that, which is a massive margin of victory there.
5.6 million total. That's the highest we've seen. That is the best performance we've seen in this tournament so far. Imagine getting 5 million and losing a match. Amamiya Kokoro has been playing so well, so consistently. And like I said, he's not out. He's going to be in that losers bracket grand final played at 14 UTC in 25 minutes. So a little bit of a break before he goes again. But Tuna is definitely the one to be on the performances he's been putting out.
Absolutely. He's making a very good case for being on the winner's side of that grand finals. We do, of course, have another couple of matches remaining for you here. Starting in about 25 minutes, we have the losers bracket grand finals between Amamiya Kokoro, who just lost to Flying Tuna, and AKNZX, who last round in the semifinals also lost to Flying Tuna. So these two players have not faced off each other yet at all throughout this tournament. It's going to be a brand new matchup to decide who gets their rematch, who gets the salty run back versus Flying Tuna in the grand finals, which will again directly follow that losers bracket final. So we're going to have Amamiya Kokoro versus AKNZX coming up in 25 minutes, and then directly following that match, we'll have the grand finals between Flying Tuna and the winner of this upcoming losers bracket grand finals. So stick around for the next couple of hours. We've got a bunch of good matches coming up for you right away here on the Lazer Grand Arena.
It is all happening. Also, we have some original tracks in the grand finals pool. They will be appearing. Stay tuned for that. 25 minutes from now, more Lazer Grand Arena coming at you. Stay tuned. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lazer Grand Arena. We are now in the grand final stage. We have our last 3 players left in the tournament now. Our podium is set up, but which way those players are going, we're about to find out today. It's going to be Amamiya Kokoro versus AKNZX, who are going to be fighting for a place in the Lazer Grand Arena inaugural grand final to take on Flying Tuna. I'm back. It's me, Doomsday, and I'm joined on cast by Mr. Miles. Mate, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dooms. 14 UTC. Man, this podium is pretty brutal for us NA casters, but surely gonna be a great match. We were talking about it before. I think Amamiya Kokoro and AKNZX have some really contrasting skill sets, which makes the matchup really, really interesting. Amamiya Kokoro, massive advantage on the reading. AKNZX, massive advantage on the speed. And in a tournament where one big advantage can really make or break the matchup, I think that can really create some interesting points for the pick ban phase especially.
I think, yeah, both these two have very strong picks against each other, and there's enough of it in the pool that they should get at least some of that to make use of here. The ban phase is going to be incredibly intriguing to see who gets what here. But we've already seen that some of the scores on the reading maps that Amamiya Kokoro have put out have been very strong and should be good against Atkins, which I've just found out that's how you pronounce that. Thank you. And AKNZX should be very good on the speed side of things. Amamiya Kokoro holding on a little bit, doing okay on them, but Atkins has had some very, very strong speed scores already.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that matchup earlier where Atkins had just one dominating speed performance against Zudinator and was able to ride out that advantage for the rest of the match. So for him, obviously, one goal of this match is going to be trying to do the same thing to Amamiya Kokoro. But through the ban phase, I think once we get through some of those more obvious speed maps, some of those more obvious reading maps, the real test is going to be who can win some of the other skill sets like the tech and the alt, and that's something that I think Amamiya Kokoro has quite the large advantage on. And we're already into the ban phase, actually, very quickly. Amamiya Kokoro banning out the DT2, so Tarut getting a banned out, and AKNZX Akins banning out Shadow Castle, which also makes a lot of sense.
It does. Amamiya's put out some crazy scores on Shadow Castle already. Not going to give him any opportunity to use that control map. I think Taro Band is not surprised. Amamiya's been targeting that one. He's going to take his chances on the Dark, which he played last time against Flying Tuna. Opening up with the speed, so that's going to be a strong start for Akins. Double reading again, same as against Flying Tuna, picked by Amamiya. So a mirror from his last match there.
Picking that DT4, banning out the Hard Rock one. So that's one aim map gone for Amamiya Kokoro. I'm surprised he opted into banning Kuina instead of one of the tech maps in the pool, because Amamiya Kokoro has put up some insane scores on Nelv throughout this tournament. So leaving that one up for him potentially. And we see a couple more Amamiya Kokoro bans. Hidden 1 and the Double Time 1 both going out. And the Nomad 4 ban promptly being banned out, so no Nelv available for Amamiya.
Not going to be able to make use of that Halgo slider tech special. Like I say, I think he played that in the last match. Yeah, he had 99% for the first half. Man was gaming on it. I don't think he'll mind String Theocracy popping up too much, though, with that being more of a control-based pick. Amamiya had a very good score on that DT1 actually against Flying Tuna, but AKNZX literally got an FC on it last time, I think. So not wanting to give him that little advantage.
Yeah, I mean, FCs are worth their weight in gold in this tournament, because if you're able to, an FC versus a 700k in this tournament is literally a devastating difference. 300k score difference from one map can be absolutely devastating, and you absolutely cannot risk AKNZX getting an FC like that in this matchup. But picking the Nomad 3 next, and AKNZX quickly going for the Nomad 2, I think that pick makes a lot of sense as well. I think these picks are pretty textbook for these players so far.
For sure. That Nomad 2 pick, though, is a map I was really hoping Amamiya Kokoro was going to pick into Flying Tuna, but he ended up banning it. Or ended up getting banned. AKNZX picking that, I think that's a good map for Amamiya as well. So that one is going to be a proper toss-up.
Yeah, I casted one of Amamiya's matches yesterday, and he put up a really good score on that Nomad 2, so probably one of the more toss-up picks between these two.
Of course, this round's a little bit different to the previous. You see, we haven't picked a final map, right? Because the last map in this matchup is going to be an original song and map that the players are going to have to sight read on the spot from map number 7. They don't know what it is, of course, so when we get to it, we're going to find out together. But that last map is going to be a brand new map, song and map.
That is so brutal. To introduce a new map in the grand finals setting and being forced to sight read it is something else. I don't think I've ever seen something like that in a tournament before.
Man, I guess there's been a few sight read gimmick tournaments here and there, but it's seldom seen. I've certainly not seen many like that. I love the idea. I can't wait to see how it plays out here, and I guess what we can hope for is it's going to be super close by the time we get there.
Yeah, I mean, the best possible thing is for the match to be determined on the OS Original, on that tiebreaker. Oh, but here we go. About to get into the first map. We've got DT3, The Dark, mapped by Fergus. Song actually by one of OS's own, Krymek.
Yep, homegrown talent, Krymek. Featured artist.
I don't know who you are, but
Slightly speeded up version here. 1.2, it's about 256 BPM breakcore.
I'm interested in one thing.
That's a lot of speed right there.
First pick for Akins. The speed has been the bread and butter, and we're going to see if that can come back for Akins. Still holding on to the SS through the first 200 combo, already looking really good for him, but as long as Amamiya can hold on, as long as Amamiya can keep the combo, shouldn't be too far out of this one.
the early 91%. Amamiya holding on this one a little bit. Can Atkins make good use of this though? Hold that combo. 99.7, not a problem on the speed side for him. How far can he make this work?
I mean, this is already pretty grim for Amamiya. We're only a third of the way through the map, and it's already an 150k lead for Atkins. 99.77%. This guy is just so comfortable on this type of speed. And Amamiya down at 90%, just trying to stop the bleeding, trying to make use of the combo game. And he's being successful as of right now. Up at 400 combo. Able to survive, but that break is going to be really consequential. Atkins still holding on to the FC. It's 300k in his direction, and this is looking like a disaster for Amamiya.
Some special tactics coming out from Amamiya Kokoro, the double taps. He's trying everything to combo game in this, but combo gaming is not as strong here as it is in Stable. And this is the perfect start here for Atkins. You can't ask for anything better than this on your first pick. Look at that accuracy he's got though, that is insane.
Look at the PP counter in the top right. We're reaching almost 700 on this one. 99.88% on this finger control is no joke, and we're reaching 700 PP on this score into the ending of this map. I think Atkins has got it. Wow, a 99.9% FC. You cannot ask for a better start, and it's a 530k score gap in favor of Atkins after the first map.
That's a 708 PP score. That's a big number. What a play from Atkins. Goodness me, that's 500,000 of advantage right off the bat. That is an insane start here for Atkins in this losers bracket final.
But now Amamiya can swing right back with the reading abuse, with the gimmick. We've got Mad Piano Party mapped by Panic. This has been the low AR kind of aim control with a little bit of finger control. A type of map where a lot of players have found a lot of chain misses on this.
Yeah, if you're not set for the flow aim on this low AR pick, you're in for a world of hurt. Atkins has done okay on this, but Amamiya Kokoro has already posted some very good scores on this. Next two picks being very reading heavy, very much favor of him. Definitely time to claw back that score lead, but he's going to need two very good performances to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, a 500k advantage, like that's honestly, like that's multiple picks. That I think a 100k advantage is very solid for a map, but getting 500k from a single map, you're going to need some real dominance in order to swing that back before Atkins' next pick. But here we go into some of the awkward flow aim. Amamiya is going to find a drop. Atkins still holding on to combo, but not anymore. So it's going to be a combo lead for Amamiya, but it's not going to be that large. But with some chain misses from Atkins, that lead is going to balloon. It's 60k now in favor of Amamiya.
Yeah, a few breaks there. A bit struggling on the combo game. 93%, it's reasonable, but he's against a 98%. That's a 5% swing. And with that combo as well, so far so good here for the Korean player. Looking far more comfortable on this.
Through those 1/6 bursts, getting through them okay. Atkins continues to drop. Amamiya continues to hold. How far can Amamiya go on this one through these awkward streams? They overlap on top of each other. That is not easy to read. That is not easy to combo your way through, but no problem for Amamiya. Not getting tripped up by the bursts either.
He's going kind of crazy here, actually.
Yeah, wait a minute.
What is he doing, actually? Well, at the moment, he's halving that score. 250k advantage here for Amamiya Kokoro. Bit more of the map to go, and Atkins is continuing to find breaks here.
Now, Dooms, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Amamiya is actually going to be slicing up 300 plus K of this lead right off the bat on Mad Piano Party, and this is exactly what Amamiya needed, a reverse choke. These players have come to play, folks, and it is only 176k of lead left for Atkins after that insane first pick.
That is a crazy play, man. That is a crazy play. The reverse choke special, but I think that's by far the highest score we've seen on that map, right? It's gotta be. What a play. Another great play. So yeah, both these two with great starts, and Amamikoko with another pick. He's still got a bit of advantage to claw back, but that was a very, very good start on that one.
I mean, changing a 500k lead to 176k, like, that's the type of lead that you can pull back on this Hidden 2, which has been one of the hardest maps of this round, I'd say. A lot of people have struggled to hold on to any sort of combo on this one, as well as Amamiya. But I think 176k, you're keen to really be able to take that out on this map if you're Amamiya.
He played this against Flying Tuna, posted a very solid 700k, and he did very well on the second half of it, I think. Had a few breaks at the start, but did a very strong second half. So the precedent is here to claw this one back. Atkins did okay on this, but it's definitely favoured towards the Korean player here.
This map, I think, originated in the OS World Cup 2021 Grand Finals as the Hidden 2 there. But
Yeah,
it didn't
it
get
was.
played because it was banned out by Germany into the United States, so...
Naturally.
Yep, as Germany does, banning the low AR Hidden.
The linear aim in this is no joke. And it's quite long as well. You've got to be consistent on this. So if you can't find your footing on it, it can be a bad time for you. A couple early breaks here from Atkins. Clean start here for Amamikoko.
Yeah, this is the type of map where you miss over and over and over again, and you don't really understand what you're missing on, because it's not necessarily the reading or the low AR that gets you on this. It's just the awkwardness of the aim, the density, just can make you miss a single note or two on any given pattern, and it's quite infuriating to miss all of it, but right now, not a problem for Amamiya. Still holding on to that double S after Atkins found a couple of early breaks, and he continues to break. And Amamiya, actually, this is poised to be a really good score already. Getting through that massive aim pattern, this is no joke of a score already. Finally dropping, but oh my god, that is almost 100k of lead right there from Amamiya.
That's a really unfortunate break, actually. The snapping on Amamiya's aim right now is something to behold on this low AR pick. That accuracy is doing so much work as well. So at the moment, I think, despite how one-sided that speed pick is, it looks like Amamiya is going to be making this very close, just 2 maps afterwards. There's time though, but this is exactly what we wanted to see.
Exactly. I mean, when you have 2 players with such contrasting skill sets, like, this is just the only way for a match like this to play out. But yeah, Amamiya finding a drop, losing that 200 combo, but Atkins continues to break, not really able to stop the bleeding here, finding lots of repeated breaks. So Amamiya should just be able to run out that lead, but it's not going to be nearly as big as the last map.
No, not quite. Atkins is definitely doing pretty decently on this, and I think Amamikoko is doing okay. Not quite as a ridiculous performance as that last one, but that last one was one of a kind. This is still very strong here.
And he has instantly brought the combo back. No longer gonna drop that 240 combo. But still, just 40 seconds of map left, and Amamiya Kokoro is 30,000 score away from completely erasing Atkins' lead from the previous map.
Yeah, Atkins can't quite find that little combo just to try and keep his nose in front. There's enough for the map to go to close this out all the way.
But finding some breaks. Just 16 seconds of map left, and at this rate, it should be about a 30k lead for Atkins as the map enters the ending. And it will be Atkins' next pick to determine how far that lead will go in his favor. It's String Theocracy coming up after this, as Amamiya Kokoro has completely closed the gap.
Oh, you love to see it, Miles. Oh, that's so good. Just 20k? That's nothing. That's nothing. Clawing back so much advantage. is not an easy feat, as you've seen in this this tournament, in this new format. Oh, that's a great comeback, though, from Amamiya Kokoro. But Atkins is still in a good spot. He's still got 2 picks left. Amamiya's only got the 1 of his own picks. And then, of course, that 7th map, the Sight Read original that's coming up. So at the moment, still pretty good here for the Australian player. But not nearly as comfortable as it once was.
We've already been through 2 Amamiya Kokoro picks, and we've only been through 1 of Atkins, so I think it all rests on how big of an advantage Atkins can take on this DT4 on Strength Theocracy. Sorry, bit of a tongue twister there, but this map, a little bit on the gimmickier side of DT, not necessarily raw speed, which I know Atkins would have preferred to pick over a map like this, but still should be a good pick for him.
A very high AR aim control. I think it's flow aim at times, but it kind of feels like more like a snap aim map on that high approach rate. The reading side should be favoured for Atkins, but I think it's a toss up. I mean, how is Amamiya's high AR reading? It seemed alright earlier in the tournament. If you can manage it here, this one shouldn't have too much in it. Let's see.
Yeah, it should be a better pick for Amamiya than the previous DT. Still, Atkins, one of the top DT players in the game, will have no problem with the approach rate part of this map. It's all going to be on the aim control, on the awkward alt patterns. And Amamiya finding some early drops, but Atkins holding strong through the beginning.
Yeah, a bit of ack here for Amamiya Kokoro, but combo game is not completely dead. If you get a big combo advantage, it's still going to do you a lot of good at the moment. Atkins is making that work.
Despite the accuracy being down at 95, accuracy almost even between the 2 players, but it is a combo game over everything in Os, and Atkins is really taking advantage of that, finally dropping. That is Atkins' first break on his own pick so far in this matchup.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is. 134k of lead made up from that massive combo, though, so Atkins should be fine from that.
Is it fair to say this map might be the hardest map in the entire pool? Because it does seem like it. This map is insane. That's a decent fight from Amamiya Kokoro, but yeah, I guess it must be the high AR reading for Atkins doing the work here. Because the combo game seems to be winning. I mean, Amamiya Kokoro is down on a bit of ACK, but it's not a massive amount. But the combo game hasn't been there for him, unfortunately.
150k of lead for Atkins by the end of this. So overall, I'd say this is probably the average lead we've seen in a tournament. Like on someone's own pick where they've had a definitive advantage, it's always been somewhere between that 150k and 200k. So that's going to be a healthy lead as Atkins brings the lead right back where it was after the first map of Amamiya Kokoro's. As we go into another alt map after this, actually. Oh boy.
It's no more 3 time. Draw me a map, let me feel the tap. I think this one was a Course Ace original tune. Really cool one. From a couple of years back. Map by Toybot.
This was a Course Ace original by Kabocha. Draw me a map, let me feel the tap. That is a very Os title.
Oh yeah. The reference is subtle. Just a little bit. If you know, you know. It's another good map here for Amamiya Kokoro. How does Atkins do on these sorts of ult picks, though? At this point, really, he just needs to get a halfway decent score just to keep his nose in front. So I've got a very solid advantage to work with here. This map is kind of bonkers, though.
Yeah, Toybot, one of the aim control mappers of our time, reflecting that in this pick. Should be something that I think is a little more comfortable for Atkins than Amamiya Kokoro's first 2 reading picks. But gonna be finding that early drop. Amamiya gonna run ahead a massive combo lead now out of the beginning. This map, not too long, it's only 2.5 minutes. So every miss is gonna be consequential as Atkins finds a drop early on in that chorus. And Amamiya, though, gonna find a drop to match it, though. So should be fine for Atkins, only 20k of lead for Amamiya.
So far, so good here for Atkins, really. He's holding his own on the Ak as well. Holding his own very nicely. Definitely looking a bit less comfortable on the aim side of things, but he's doing just enough here.
But I think more importantly, Amamiya is not dominating him too hard in terms of the combo.
It's two very good accuracies for this, I gotta say. That 99% was pretty scary. Just drop it there on that little pattern, but accuracy game's strong for both these two on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just overall a comfy BPM. It's not 310 BPM. Cut that one in half. I believe that would be 165. No, not 165.
155, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, too early for maths.
Yeah. It's about right from an alt map. And it is showing. I mean, he's got his nose in front on this one. But that is going to benefit Atkins with his advantage.
Yeah, we're going into the final Atkins pick right after this one. I'm sure Amamiya Kokoro really wanted to get a bigger advantage on this one, but only going to be bleeding somewhere between 20 and 50k off of Atkins' lead on this. Unless Amamiya can do some magic on this ending, which she is doing as Atkins finds some drops. So it's going to be a little bit more than it was for most of this map. 57k plus for Amamiya Kokoro taken off of this lead. So overall, 120k of lead left for Atkins going into the Nomad 2. Nomad 2, Amamiya Kokoro put up a very strong score on this yesterday, somewhere over 700k. So Atkins going to need to be on his tip-top game on his last pick before we go into the deciding OSA Original.
Very nice ending patterns there from Amamiya Kokoro, actually. Nice forward combo. Flourish to give himself a little bit of a leg up there. And you know what? Going into Nomad 2, I don't think he's going to be too worried about this. Amamiya Kokoro has destroyed people on stream maps already and has posted 2 very good scores on this already. So 120k advantage is assailable if Atkins has some issues on this, but we know how good he is on the tapping.
Yeah, it's never been the tapping on this for Atkins. If anything, he'll find a drop on the aim, and this map throws a lot of difficult stream patterns at you. Have to have your flow aim completely on point. This map by Barking Mad Dog, very iconic aim mapper. So you can miss on either the jump aim or the stream aim on this, and that's something that both of these players excel at.
The moment. Amamiya Kokoro looking to close that gap before we get into that sight read map to end this one. The moment Atkins just needs to hold his nerve. And he put himself in a very good spot going into that.
Yeah, this map doesn't really throw too much difficulty at you in the beginning. There's a few parts that I'd describe as difficulty spikes that come a little bit further into the map. So right now, don't expect either of these guys to break, and any break will be very consequential for them. Already, both of them at 700 plus combo. It's do or die for both of these players at this point in the map.
And no early chokes from either of these two. But here come the XLs. A lot of combo advantage on the field if someone finds a croak here. But nothing else has been given.
Not at all. I mean, it's 1k combo for both players. That PP counter, this is already a 500 PP score for both of these players. Get into some more space bursts here. No breaks yet for either of them. A couple hundreds dropped from Amamiya, but holds on to the combo. That was clutch. Oh, but there he goes.
That space thing, the little 5-0 burst there, caught him out. Atkins still FCing though, and now it's time for him to rack this up. 1300 combo and rising.
This is where Atkins can really close out this match. Going into the final pick, a lead of about 300k could be insurmountable for Amamiya on the next map. And Atkins is just going crazy, finally finds the drop on the space stream. It's 80k score lead for him on this one. But with the break from Amamiya Kokoro as well, there's not really much that can be done. It's a full combo reset. Yeah,
at the moment, it's out of Amamiya Kokoro's hands. Really. 80k is not too much, but Atkins ain't gonna be losing any advantage so far. That 99.6 does go kind of hard, that accuracy.
Yeah, pretty good. Also, 600 PP score at this point of the map for Atkins. That'd give me quite a few ranks if I had that.
Be my top player if I had that.
Yeah, a bit of a slower section now. Both players will bring their combo back. But only 45 seconds of map left. Not really much that Amamiya can do to try and spin this lead back in his direction. Just has to pray for another break from Atkins.
There's room for it. Combo's built back up now. It's still even. Scully's not unassailable.
But it is if Atkins keeps holding on. 80k of lead. Looks to be consistent. Atkins should bring this lead overall back up to 200k at the end of this map before we go into the sight read pick. Which should be a very comfortable lead for him, I think, going into that map. Knowing that map already, it's a very difficult OS original. Over 8 stars is the next map.
Oh man, actually, you know what? I want to point out the end there real quick. Both those players FCing the entire ending, even the space thing at the end. 2 great scores, but Atkins is in a brilliant spot going into this last pick. And yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy, Miles. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I can tell you a lot. This map is 8.61 stars, and it is mostly 250 BPM mechanics. Oof. So that is a pretty tough skill set for Amamiya Kokoro to take into Atkins.
Oh man, that's gonna be music to Atkins' ears going into this one. Very, very speedy. Of course, it is an original song as well, produced for the Lazer Grand Arena. Just about to get into it.
We've got a brand new map. OS original by Wangle Line. Song is called Attacked by the Cosmic Beast. Mapped by Riot1133. It's a great project. I'd like to thank some other people involved. The illustrator, Arisu-sama, and the graphics is designed by Alex Dunk. Came out to an insane map, and I hope you all enjoy it.
There's a lot of stars. 8.6 stars. I've been told that it's apparently not quite that crazy. It's maybe a little bit higher than what it should be. Oh, you love the references, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Still high speed, 8-star for sure. Speedy boy. And that's a lot of score Amami's going to make up, but how is his sight read looking?
Yeah, I mean, this map, mostly mechanics, shouldn't be too hard for you to sight read. It's all just going to be the mechanics here, and that's something that Atkins has just had the advantage on through this whole match. But I say that, Amamiya Kokoro holding a combo lead through these beginning aim patterns, where Atkins found a drop.
I should mention as well, I haven't looked at this map yet. I was linked it, but I thought I'd sight read it as well alongside the players, so yeah, I'm seeing this for the first time too.
This is my first time seeing it too. It's only 2 minutes and 26 seconds though. Although it is the deciding map, it is not necessarily tiebreaker length. We are already halfway through it as Amamiya finds a break. That could just be the last breath right there for Amamiya. Atkins has that 370 combo in a slower section of the map. Could claw some of that lead. Amamiya has taken right back.
Cells on those bursts, dude. Oh my god, okay.
These kick slider jumps are insane. And the burst catching out Amamiya. That 30k score lead for Amamiya on the pick is remaining consistent. But remember, folks, he needs 204k in order to win the match. And with 30 seconds of map left, and the combo breaks coming out from Amamiya, that last breath is looking to be had here. Akins should escape this matchup.
Oh, those slow sliders, dude.
Not nice to sight readers.
No. Oh my god, putting slow sliders in the sight read map, that's diabolical.
Yeah, into the ending here. 5 seconds left, and we have our victor of the third place match. We've got Akins escaping Amamiya Kokoro with a 4.9 million overall score. Gonna be moving on to the grand finals in 30 minutes to face up against Flying Tuna in what's sure to be an epic grand finals.
Oh, for sure. It's a rematch. Akins has already faced him before. Didn't work out this time, but he will be looking for revenge. Amamiya Kokoro takes third place in the inaugural Lazer Grand Arena. Thank you very much for playing. What a run. Seed number 1 out of qualifiers and taking top 3. Ain't no joke.
I mean, Amamiya Kokoro, so consistent throughout the tournament, able to take some great victories now, locking in the top 3 after some insane performances from Akins, but that's gonna do it until our next match. Stick around, folks. It is only 27 minutes until the grand finals of our inaugural Lazer Grand Arena, but until then, I've been Miles with Doomsday, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day and enjoy the grand finals.
It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my